Good afternoon, everyone. The 10th of September 2025. Some birding news. On a Sussex beach, a rare black swan was recently photographed, sparking intrigue and discussion about its origins. More recently, birdwatchers confirmed a sighting of a black swan on the beach at Knot End, further adding to the string of unusual sightings. Origin and rarity in Britain. The black swan, Cygnus atratus, is native to Australia, but is a fairly popular ornamental water bird across Western Europe, including Britain, due to escapees from private collections. Population and notable locations. The UK population is not self-sustaining. However, feral sightings and occasional breeding have been recorded. In the early 2000s, the Wildfowl and Wetlands Trust noted a maximum of 9 breeding pairs in 2001 and an estimated 43 feral individuals during 2003 to 4. Established small populations exist in places like the River Thames at Marlow, the brook running through Dawlish in Devon, where they've become a local emblem, and the River Tees near Stockton-on-Tees. An osprey has been spotted twice in a week at Bodenham Lake, Hertfordshire, catching fish. The bird was thought extinct in the area. Ospreys were wiped out in the UK by the early 1900s due to hunting, egg collection, and habitat loss. In Scotland, they naturally recolonised in the 1950s at Loch Garten, and the site is still a famous nesting area. Since then, ospreys have expanded in England and Wales thanks to reintroduction projects in places like Rutland Water, Port Harbour, and North Wales. They spend summers in the UK, then migrate up to 3,000 miles to West Africa for the winter. Young birds often don't return until they're 2 or 3 years old. Protected species, they're on the Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Countryside Act, meaning it is illegal to disturb them at the nest. Webcams. Popular osprey nests at Loch Garten, Rutland Water, and Port Harbour have live cameras watched by thousands every year. Symbol of success, their comeback is one of the UK's best conservation stories, from total extinction to over 300 breeding pairs across the country today. In a major environmental move, the UK government will expand the ban on burning deep peat in England from areas over 40 centimetres only in protected zones to all land where peat measures over 30 centimetres. The ban, covering approximately 676,628 hectares, aims to restore natural habitats, curb carbon emissions, reduce flooding, and improve air quality. Conservation groups like the RSPB praise it as a crucial step for protecting peatland ecosystems, home to many ground nesting bird species. Over the last few days, Britain and Ireland have been hit by a massive influx of Glossy Ibis. Hundreds of birds, big flocks. It's bonkers. I've pulled together what we know so we can spot them, understand why they're here, and how to watch them responsibly. This week has seen an unprecedented arrival. Bird guides tallied massive numbers across Britain and Ireland, with daily counts in the hundreds. On one day, at least 605 birds were recorded across the region. Reporting rates on bird guides jumped from a few dozen reports in previous years to hundreds this week. They're turning up pretty much coast to coast. Hotspots this week include the Isles of Scilly and Cornwall, including a single flock of 80 plus reported in Cornwall, Dee Estuary, Stockholm, Port Harbour, and numerous reserves and wetlands, basically any shallow marsh, estuary, or flooded field. So why the sudden surge? Two main reasons: population and weather. Glossy ibis populations have increased across Western Europe in recent years, and the species is expanding north. They even bred in Britain for the first time in 2022. When population is high, young birds disperse widely. Add favourable winds and local weather systems, and you get mass movements into the UK. ID is straightforward in the field: long, downward curved bill, slender legs, and very dark, glossy plumage that flashes green and purple in the sunshine. They're roughly the size of a curlew. Now here's some Glossy ibis facts. Scientific name: Plagardis falcinellus. Plagardis comes from the Greek word plegardos, meaning sickle, referring to the long curved bill of the ibis. Falcinellus, from the Latin falx, meaning sickle or scythe, with the diminutive suffix illus, essentially little sickle, again describing the shape of the bill. Size: about 55 to 65 centimetres, wingspan 88 to 105 centimetres, lifespan up to 15 years in the wild. Other appearance and ID tips: red eyes and legs during the breeding season, duller in non-breeding season. Juveniles are browner and less shiny. Important for ID. Behaviour: usually seen in flocks, especially during migration or foraging. Probe in shallow water for insects, crustaceans, worms, and small fish. Often roost in reed beds, marshes, and flooded fields overnight. Migration and distribution, globally found in Africa, Southern Europe, South Asia, and the Americas. Northern European populations have been expanding, causing more UK sightings. Migratory patterns influenced by weather, they often follow storm fronts and strong winds. Breeding, nest in colonies in trees, reed beds, or shrubs. First recorded breeding in the UK was in 2022 on a Welsh reserve. Lay 3 to 5 eggs per clutch. Both parents incubate. Fun wow facts. Their iridescent plumage isn't just for show, it may signal health and fitness to mates. Glossy ibises are highly adaptable. They've been recorded feeding in rice paddies, urban ponds, and even sewage lagoons. They're one of the few ibis species regularly seen in temperate Europe. Serve as indicators of healthy wetland ecosystems. Watching influxes helps scientists track climate-driven rain shifts. They're not rare globally. The IUCN lists them as least concern, but big arrivals like this are big deals for the UK birders and shows shifting ranges likely linked to long-term environmental changes and population recovery in Europe. How to watch responsibly. A quick but vital note: when you find glossy ibis, please don't disturb them. Use hides, keep your distance, and avoid flushing flocks. Report sightings to national recording schemes, e.g., Bird Guides, BTO, eBird, so scientists have accurate data, but prioritize the birds over the photo. So this is one of those once-in-a-lifetime-ish events for UK birders. Huge flocks, great photo and video opportunities, but please watch responsibly. I'll keep an eye on the sightings pages and drop updates if things change. If you've seen glossy ibis, drop the location count in the comments. And if you've liked this update, like and subscribe for more field reports. Catch you next time.